Hey, what's up, everybody? So, as I promised, I am going to go over this SoFi chart. It looks like SoFi won the vote by 53%. But I'll still go over Disney eventually. But just know for Disney, I'm dollar cost averaging into that position, just like SoFi, $10 a day. And another thing, I lied, right? I lied about as far as where I was, as far as SoFi and my overall portfolio for the 401k play. I forgot that I played about 5+ contracts on the SoFi earnings on that in that account. So technically, I'm at 1,700, a little over $1,700. So that means that technically I'm tracking for over 23,000 by the end of this, by the end of the year. Of course, that's skewed because of the option play. But let's just say I'm ahead of the game. All right, so hopefully everybody else was able to join in. It is what it is. Let's see if we can catch another one. Okay, so SoFi right now, as I've been telling you guys that we are at we're in a neutral position. I say that more in the short term. However, in reality, we're in a bullish position, and I think I've said that too. So two things can be true. We're in a bullish position despite this huge pullback from when we IPO'd here, right? We have seen um, a constant move to the upside from here to here, which I've already discussed. Okay, this is on the weekly chart. Now, this current position that we're in, and let me zoom up. I'm doing this from my phone, so bear with me. All right, right here, this is a symmetrical triangle, okay? That is a neutral position. You see, you hit the top line, the descending line of resistance, ascending line of support, descending line of resistance, ascending line of support, right? So what we're waiting for now is for a breakout above or below. Now, based on how I do my charting, okay, how I chart everything, this blue dash right here, anything above this line is bullish. Okay, that means that we should see more upside. If SoFi falls below this line, then watch out, look out below. Okay, so let's zoom in and see what that is. This line right here is pretty much $7, right? And because I am working with a stylus, it's kind of hard to keep it steady, but just under $7. Okay, yep, 709. So anything above 709, we're straight. If SoFi pulls back all the way to 709, we should or hopefully will see a solid bounce. I'm not saying we're going to fall below or to that point. I'm hoping not, but I can see the bears just trying to kick people out of their positions and pulling us down to that point. And then rocketing the stock up, but we will see. As of right now, again, like I said, we're in a bullish position. So if I zoom in a little bit, and let's go to the daily. Okay, on the daily, this is what I'm seeing here. I I'm sorry. We have this downtrend, 3 red bars, but right here is kind of like a spinning top. So again, indecision as far as where we're going. Now I did say that I was waiting until 7:33 in order to start dollar cost averaging into lead calls. I think I was a little off on that because I believe we hit the mark at 748 after I just redid all my charting. 748 was the target. Is it too late? I'm not sure. But as we go deeper into this, more of the short term, we'll see where SoFi is going in the short term to see if we can set ourselves up for the long term. Okay, so that's what I see. So let's zoom in a little bit further. Let's go to the 15-minute. Okay, so as you can see, right here is where it popped. Now, even if this huge wick wasn't here, right? Imagine like this chart never happened, this move never happened. My charting put us right on the money. Like based on how I come up with my levels, it put us right where it bounced. Okay. Um, my my levels are pretty accurate. I don't know. It's just how I figure things out. But anyway, um, so we got the bounce here, and now we have we had crossed 787, and we fell below. Okay, so what we're looking for right now is a pullback to about 772. I'm thinking if we can maintain this move right here, right, that means that we're going to have a higher low and then ascend up. Okay, so when market opens on Monday, tomorrow, I'm likely to be dollar cost averaging into a SoFi leap options, and I'm looking at 2025 more than likely. Following this, after I do a little bit more research tonight, and maybe before the market opens, I'll post the exact play I'm looking at. I did post one that's good on the shorter term. I still might do that, but to be determined. But nonetheless, that's where we are. If we fall back to 748, I don't foresee us bouncing there again. That looks more like a double top, double top, and we're likely to be falling to 708. Hopefully, that is not the case, because we just don't want to see that. We want to see SoFi gain some strength here. Okay, so where we have to be a little bit more optimistic for SoFi. One, we have to cross above 787, all right, and find support above this level right here. The next line of resistance, if we find support here, technically it's $8, but sorry, $7.95. But technically, if we find support above 788, we are headed to 825, which in my opinion is a little softer resistance, but based on my levels, it's going to find some resistance there and either consolidate and rocket, or consolidate and dip back down halfway. Either which way, once we get above 787 and find support there, I do not foresee SoFi coming back down below that. Of course, the stock is heavily manipulated, so you just never know what will happen. But ultimate goal for SoFi is to find support above 863. Once we get to 863, and if we hold above that level, we're definitely headed back to retest 1033. Okay. Now notice this white line. This white line is the descending line of resistance in that neutral symmetrical triangle. Of course, we have to break that, but I believe once we hit 863, this will be our breakout time by the time SoFi gets there, because it won't happen tomorrow, right? If we zoom back out, let's go 1 hour. We zoom back out. SoFi has a little bit ways to go before it gets to the end of this symmetrical triangle. Okay. Typically, once this is charted, this is all the time that pretty much needs to pass before we see any type of breakout. So what's the end of this? I can't see here, so let's go to the 2 hour. End of this would be April 24th, or April 4th, 2024. Okay. Between there and April 18th. So yeah, pretty much April 4th through April 18th and 19th. That's when we're going to see the breakout for SoFi. All right. So mark your calendars for there. In the meantime, I suspect it to go up and down between these the ascending line, or the descending line of resistance, and the ascending lines of support within the symmetrical triangle. Okay, so I mean, how does that look, right? So it goes here, 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 and then hopefully a breakout. But notice where we are. Okay, that's April. So you do not want to be looking at a leap call like before this point, unless you're just trying to ride this wave, which is fine. Likely that's what I'm going to do. Once I see profit, I'm getting out. I'm not going to be riding this for months, okay? I'm about to dollar cost average into the position, hopefully ride it up to the top of this symmetrical triangle. which puts us where, if we get rid of which puts us probably around 920, 922, somewhere in that area, okay? And then write it back down, and write it back up, and write it back down. We'll figure it out. But come April, between April 4th and April 18th, high alert. High alert for a breakout for SoFi. I'm going to be looking for volume. I'm going to be looking for the news. Where we're in January, February, March, April. That's going to be the next Q1 of 2024 earnings. So the next earnings for SoFi, big one, huge move, bigger than this first one we had for Q4. So will I go as hard as I did the last time when I dropped 5K to make 10? Maybe not. I might do $2,000. Just use some of the profits I made in order to see what I can do with it. But again, it's all a gamble. Nonetheless, again, mark your calendars for the big move of SoFi before earnings. I believe is April. So January, February, March, April. I want to say that's the month we should see Q1, but we'll figure it out. Either which way, whenever the earnings date is, we're playing it. I'm playing it. You do whatever you want to do. But in the meantime, like I said, we're kind of in this symmetrical neutral position, but that's great, because once you can identify where we are with the stock, you can play it, right? It's not really a mystery. Now, the main thing with SoFi is that it's heavily manipulated, but the stock moves pretty easy, So if you guys just if your timing is good, if you're not FOMOing into a rally or whatever, if you're patient, if you give yourself enough time, then you'll make money with SoFi. End of the day, okay? So again, this is where we are. I think I might have missed our entry at 748. Hopefully we get a little bit of a pullback Monday morning. If that happens and I see strength, then I'm going to hop into a couple calls and then hopefully make some money. So if that makes sense, let me know. One thing that might not make sense to a lot of people is how I come up with my levels. You guys are going to have to just chart them yourself and then try to figure it out. Because for me to do an entire session on how I come up with my levels, telling you how I do it is not hard, but explaining and answering questions and going into detail takes time. I spent time with somebody in the community, 2 hours going over this. And that was an exception. I won't do that until I'm 100% confident in everything that I do, because I don't want you guys to be following me blind, So if I give you charts or if I give you levels, chart them, do your due diligence, make sure it makes sense to you, and go from there. But as you can see, my key levels, the bottom 429, middle 708, the high of 1033. Those are my key levels. Anything above 708 is bullish. Anything below 708 is bearish. As of right now, that's all I can tell you. That's all that really you need to know, aside from whatever you need in order to make the informed decision to get in and get out of a play. Okay, so hope that makes sense. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some clarity as far as how I'm playing SoFi and how you may want to play SoFi. But that's all I got. All right.